And in Iran, freedom comes at a deadly cost. A woman's choice to unveil can now lead to flogging, prison, and even execution. The new hijab law enforces harsh penalties for those who defy strict dress codes. Iranian women, however, refuse to back down, with their courage shining amid repression. Our next report explores their fight, the systemic control they endure, and the hope they ignite.
In the shadowed streets of Tehran, a young woman pulls off her headscarf, letting her hair cascade freely in the breeze. As she steps into the public eye, she knows the risk, she knows the price, yet for a fleeting moment, she feels alive, reclaiming a freedom long denied. In Iran, women's bodies have become battlegrounds for control. Their right to choose is stripped away. Patriarchy dictates their lives. But each strand of unveiled hair has now become a silent scream against oppression. And now, a new law looms over them, imposing severe penalties for defying hijab mandates. The legislation promotes the culture of chastity and hijab, enforcing strict dress codes and criminalizing dissent. Women who unveil will face fines of up to $15,700, flogging, and at least 15 years of imprisonment. In some cases, death sentences loom, turning acts of personal choice into crimes punishable by death.
The international community must not stand idly by as Iranian authorities further codify repression and even resort to the death penalty to suppress dissent against compulsory veiling. They must use their leverage to press the Iranian authorities to withdraw this law and abolish compulsory veiling in law and practice. They must also pursue legal pathways to hold Iranian officials accountable for committing widespread and systematic human rights violations against women and girls through the implementation of compulsory veiling.
But this is not all. The law also extends its reach, emboldening public harassment. Iran's Article 60 will now punish any attempt to stop such harassment, making defenders of women's rights criminals themselves.
Nearly all provisions of this law contravene fundamental principles, such as Article 9 of the Iranian Constitution, which prohibits legislation that undermines citizens' freedoms, even in the name of national sovereignty. The law stipulates lengthy prison sentences for those persistently opposing mandatory hijab and encouraging others to do the same.
Businesses and institutions are not spared either. Taxi drivers, schools, and broadcasters must report non-compliance. Failure to act will invite fines and punishment. This crackdown follows the death of Mahsa Amini in 2022, when her death in custody ignited a firestorm of protests. Iranian women, fueled by grief and rage, defied dress codes in acts of bravery. Videos of their resistance spread like wildfire. Recently, a young student stripped down to her underwear in protest. She was later taken to a psychiatric hospital, her defiance punished with cruelty. Since the incident, authorities have imposed hijab clinics to treat defiant women. The move has sparked outrage, further deepening societal tensions.
This allowed for our voices to be heard by the world. What us girls did made this movement into something that continues. Now, all over the country, women are protesting the compulsory hijab in any way they can. I definitely think it made a difference.
Since the implementation, even Iranian leaders expressed unease. President Masoud Pezeshkian warned of growing discontent. Critics argue the law's enforcement will deepen unrest because the regime's grip on power is challenged by the courage of its women. For now, Iranian women are waging a battle against a relentless hierarchy of control. They plead that the silence of the international community must come to an end because oppressors thrive on indifference. They declare that women deserve lives free from tyranny. Their rights are non-negotiable and their fight is far from over.